Are there affordable homes here in Westfield, Indiana? Well, today we are on a mission to find them. So we're going to go see 4 homes in 4 different neighborhoods. Stick around because you don't want to miss it. Welcome to Discovering Central Indiana YouTube channel. I'm Eric with the Pels Realty Group, and if this is the first time on the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living in Central Indiana and the Central Indiana market, go ahead and subscribe below. My business partner Julie and I, we get calls and texts every single day from people just like you who are looking to make their move to Central Indiana. So whether that's in 9 days or 9 months, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or set up a Zoom call. Right now, Westfield is one of the fastest growing cities in Indiana. It's also been ranked as one of the best small cities to live in by NerdWallet. So Westfield has a lot going for it, a lot of things happening. You got construction going on. The downtown area is being revamped. I mean, you can see the construction right over there of that building that's going to hold apartments, and on the first floor is going to be businesses. So things are happening. There's going to be more coming with Grand Park and Grand Universe. There's just a lot going on, but the question is, can you find affordable housing here in Westfield? Is that something Westfield has to offer? Well, let's go ahead and find out. But before we do, I have to qualify what is affordable here in Westfield. So Westfield has a median home price of $525,000. So that is out of the reach for a lot of people. So when I say affordable, it's going to need to be under that median price of $525,000. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we can find. So the first stop on our list today is going to be Sanoma, and Sanoma is located right off of 169th Street, and this building right over there is actually going to be St. Maria Goretti, a Catholic school and church. And I actually used to play football there, and I did Boy Scouts when I was a kid. But this neighborhood is really close to State Road 32 with all those amenities, with restaurants, with doctor's office, vets, also pretty close to the police station as well. You also are really close to Ditch Road as well. Ditch Road is like a mile like that way in that direction. So you're really close to a lot of different amenities, which is really nice. So as I walk through this neighborhood, it has an interesting feel because a lot of these homes have rear load garages. It's actually it's a combination of front loads. So you have these front loads right here, but then you have rear loading garages. So these homes that are going to be like along here are going to be more rear loading garages. And typically in this price point of mid 3s to mid 4s, you don't see that a ton. Just in this price point, you're typically going to see that more in, I'd say, the 500s on up. It's interesting. I've not really seen that before here in Westfield. So this neighborhood was built in the early 2010s. I'd say 2010 to 2014-ish is when these homes were built. You can see this alley for the garages. So I will say the nice thing is these alleys for your side loading garages are pretty spacious. They're pretty wide because I know some don't have that. And a lot of these homes are very, very similar to each other. There's not a ton of variety, which is honestly to be expected. Again, you've got some, like on the ranches, you'll have more masonry, like right here, you got more masonry on the front, but then on the side, you're gonna have vinyl siding. That's really what we're seeing in a lot of these more affordable neighborhoods. The builders, they didn't take tons of time or spend tons of money to make them look really, really nice. That's just how it was when these homes were built. Now, granted, this 2-story right over there, that definitely has a lot more masonry. So you got masonry on kind of like the bottom half. And then you got a little column that's got more masonry up there, but then the upper portion is gonna be more vinyl, because honestly, it's cheaper to do that, to put vinyl on a house over masonry, because masonry is expensive and it adds up. But then here's another example right here. You got this house that is, these two actually right there. Those are all vinyl siding. So, the nice thing is when vinyl needs to be replaced, it's going to be cheaper than masonry. It just doesn't look as nice. And as far as amenities that this neighborhood offers, you really don't have amenities. You do have some nice walking trails in this general area, which is a very nice thing to have. So you can walk your pets, just take a nice stroll. But generally, you don't have a pool, no playground. It's just pretty much the neighborhood, the homes, and then the sidewalks is what you have for amenities. Our second stop for the day on this beautifully windy day is going to be Pheasant Run, and we're going to take a look at the house right across the street, right over there. So it was built in 1997, so this is a 90s neighborhood and a 90s house. It's got 4 beds, 2.5 bathrooms with 1,720 square feet, and it is priced at, there go my notes, $364,900. So Pheasant Run is going to be directly located off of 171st Street, almost off of 171st Street in Union. Almost runs kind of parallel to it. So we are like less than a mile from Grand Junction Plaza and kind of like what a lot of people would say Restaurant Row here in Westfield, Indiana. And Restaurant Row is just going to be basically one street with a bunch of restaurants. You got the Italian House, you got pizza, I'm completely blanking on the names, but you got, you know, pizza, you got sushi, you got a bunch of stuff here. And also right where Grand Junction Plaza is, they're also building apartments, different commercial spaces for businesses, and a parking garage too. So we're very, very close to that. And so in terms of pricing here in this neighborhood, we're gonna be looking at anywhere from the mid 3s to the mid 4s. And you know, it's a 90s neighborhood, so surprisingly, there is some variation with the houses. Now, most of these houses, especially the 2-stories, are gonna have vinyl siding. Some of the 2-stories have a combination of vinyl siding and masonry. Others are just vinyl, kind of like this one right there. But walking through the ranches, most of the ranches you're going to have masonry on the front and then vinyl siding on the side of it. So just walking through, it's a decent neighborhood. Nice wide roads, you got sidewalks to walk on. You don't really have any amenities that is provided by the neighborhood. So something to consider depending on what kind of amenities you are looking for in a neighborhood you are potentially looking to move to. But you know, there is a little more variety than I expected, especially in a 90s neighborhood. Now there is obviously common themes with this neighborhood, with most neighborhoods. You're gonna have common themes, very similar home styles and models, but just going through, it's surprisingly different. These homes definitely have their own personal touches and personal styles, which is nice because I feel like that's pretty rare to find in a lot of neighborhoods. They're all, like most homes in a lot of neighborhoods around here are going to be all very uniform, whereas these have different little styles to them, personal touches that the owners have done, and it's a nice touch. Honestly, it differentiates itself from most other neighborhoods. The third stop on our list today is going to be Coventry. So Coventry is going to be located right off of Grassy Branch Road. It's a little farther out here in Westfield, a little more north, not terribly far from 38. So it's kind of like at a corner of 38 and Grassy Branch Road. So in terms of different amenities, you're not going to be terribly far from Grand Park, about 3.8 miles from Grand Park, 2.9 miles from the downtown area, from Grand Junction Plaza and just the downtown area in general of Westfield. So the feel of this neighborhood, it's a nicely kept neighborhood, pretty well maintained, manicured yard. So this is going to be a much newer community, built in probably anywhere from 2019 to 2021. So very, very new. I couldn't tell you the builder of these homes. I want to say it's probably Lennar, just based off of what they look like. So the house behind me is the one we're taking a look at today. Built in 2021, it's got 5 beds, 3 full baths. It's got 2,736,000 square feet, and it's priced at $450,000. I will say one nice amenity about this neighborhood is there are some walking trails, which is great, especially for families, kids, walking the dog. Other than that, there aren't tons of amenities in this neighborhood, just pretty much the trails. You know, decently wide roads, nice sidewalks. A lot of the houses do look very, very similar, unfortunately. So, and like I said, I'm thinking it's probably either Lennar or even Pulte who built these homes. Some of those homes can be kind of similar because you got a combination of 2-car and 3-car garages. A lot of the roof lines look pretty similar, honestly. You do have some shake shingles towards the top of the homes. Or not, I can't say shake shingles, shake siding, like right up there on that house, which is nice, breaks things up. But I will say a lot of these homes are very, very similar in just their style and in their color as well. So if you're looking for something different, It's a neighborhood with more variety. I can't say that this is it. And especially in the price points that we are looking at today, typically you're not going to find tons of variety. Now, I will say these homes do look better than a lot of 80s and 90s neighborhoods where you just don't have much variety. There's just a little more variety here. Not tons, but a little more. One thing I forgot to say about Coventry is with the amenities, they actually do have a pool and some playgrounds for children, which is honestly, yeah, it's great. A lot of newer communities, I think, should definitely have that. So a couple years ago, I held an open house in Coventry. It was a ranch home. It was a beautiful home, very spacious, nice spacious rooms, beautiful LVP siding, or vinyl plank flooring, I should say, and there was a nice fireplace, great for a nice ambiance. But generally speaking, Coventry, very nice neighborhood and great for those who are looking to buy their first home or downsize, honestly. The fourth and final neighborhood we're looking at today is going to be Pine Ridge here in Westfield. And Pine Ridge is really close to Grand Park. It's literally down the street from State Road 32, so you have all this shopping and different amenities and restaurants that you have access to right off of 32. So this neighborhood's going to be located right off of Oak Ridge. And the home we're going to be looking at today is going to be this one right here. It was built in 1995 with 3 beds, 2 full baths, and it's priced at $275,000. So definitely the cheapest here in Westfield at the moment. So square footage, you're looking at 1,264,000 square feet, which is pretty common for honestly this neighborhood as I walk through it. Most of this neighborhood is going to be ranches. You do have some 2 stories, but generally speaking, for pricing in this neighborhood, you're going to be around high 2s to high 3s. Some of the 2 stories might go into the low 4s, depending on if they have renovations and remodels done, since this is a 90s neighborhood. And honestly, it's a majority ranches, but with a lot of 90s homes, you can see that they all look pretty much the same. You know, with the ranches, you have a combination of vinyl siding and masonry on most of them. With the 2-story homes, you have masonry on the first portion of the house, and then when you get to the 2nd story, it is going to be more vinyl siding, kind of like this house right here. Right there, hopefully the sun's not blinding you, but that's what I'm seeing in this neighborhood. The yards are nice and manicured. Granted, it's winter, so it's kind of hard to tell how nice the yards can be just because the grass is brown. And as you can see, you know, there's snow on the ground, it's melting, but generally speaking, it's a great home for first-time home buyers, people looking to downsize, and even investors. Shoot. In terms of the feel of the neighborhood, it's definitely quiet. You know, it's around 12:30-ish when I'm filming this here in this neighborhood, so generally quiet, nice neighborhood. And then just going back to just kind of what's around it, it's so centrally located here in Westfield. You're not terribly far from the downtown area in Westfield, and what they're expanding in, you know, Grand Park is really close. Now the downside is, since you're so close to 32, there is some potential to hear some road noise from 32, and you are maybe 500 feet from a stoplight at 32 and Oak Ridge. It can get a little backed up, so just keep that in mind. That is one downside, but generally speaking, this is a nice, quiet neighborhood that's well kept. So those are the 4 homes and the 4 neighborhoods where it's more affordable. It definitely goes up in price, but that last neighborhood of showing you guys that home of $275 is pretty good. Now granted, that is the lowest you're honestly going to be able to find here in Westfield, and the lower the price that you go, the more work that home is going to need. Different renovations, depending on what the condition of the home is, you might even have to gut it. So that's definitely something you have to consider when looking for affordable homes here in Westfield. Are you able to put work in? Are you willing to put work in? Or do you want a home that is ready to go off the bat? Those are questions you have to ask yourself. You know, obviously as you go higher in the price, when you get to that $450, homes are going to be in better condition. They won't need as much work. The biggest thing is just making sure that you know what you're getting yourself into, especially when it comes to more affordable homes. And if you're not doing new construction, You guys know that I'm a massive fan of new construction just because it's easier to find new construction than it is pre-existing home. And then that kind of is a good segue into the market update. So currently in Westfield, we have 161 homes on the market. That's not including new construction. So that's pre-existing homes. Average days you're gonna look at on the market, you're looking at about 36 days on the market. So, but at the same time, 161 homes on the market at any given time is not a lot at all. So that's why if you can afford it, new construction is great. And there are some new construction communities here in Westfield that are a little more affordable that we will show you guys in a later video. Now, when you're comparing Carmel to Westfield in terms of affordable homes, if you've seen that video of, you know, affordable homes in Carmel, those were all ranches, where in this one, it was a combination here in Westfield of ranches and two-story homes. And we even found a home that is $275, where we couldn't find that in Carmel because Carmel has even less inventory than Westfield, less room to expand, and when they do expand and build, it's very expensive. In my opinion, Westfield is a great place to live. I'm biased because I've lived here for 20 plus years. I grew up here basically. I'm not from Indiana. I was born in Kentucky, but I consider myself a Hoosier, even though technically I'm not. But just, it's really interesting to see what's happened in Westfield over these 20 something years and all the expansion that's happening right now. Honestly, Westfield is the place to be if you want to be around a whole bunch of new growth that's happening, especially with, you know, the construction right here that's going on here in the downtown area, completely revamping it, new parking garages, new businesses, especially off of Union. So this is going to be Union Street right here. There's going to be a ton of different stuff happening in condos, apartments, restaurants. It's really interesting just to see what's going on. So, you know, if Westfield is a place that really interests you, I encourage you to kind of get in on the ground floor before prices absolutely go up, because as more construction happens, as more people move to Westfield, as more businesses come to Westfield, the demand for housing is going to go way up, and it's going to be like Carmel in terms of, you know, you can't expand anymore. They've done all the expansion that they can. So it's definitely something to think about when you're thinking about the different cities and Westfield. The nice thing is Westfield is very close to Carmel, and I keep saying Carmel because Carmel is a very popular place that people want to be in. So also keep that in mind too. So again, those were the 4 homes and the 4 different more affordable neighborhoods here in Westfield, Indiana. Let me know what your guys' favorite was. Mine personally was probably going to be the Coventry. That's a beautiful neighborhood. Yes, it's a little more expensive, but I feel like you get a little more. It's a newer neighborhood. I personally like newer neighborhoods. That's just me, but it depends on what you guys like. So remember, if you're looking to move in 9 days or 9 months, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or set up a Zoom call.